Okay guys, I'm going to run through a few of each of the shapes and some writing equations on the back. So let's start with number 2. So number 2 we know is an ellipse because of the fractions and because of it being equal to 1. So our center comes from our HK right here. Sorry. So 1, -4, they both lie because they're both in parentheses. My A is always the bigger one, so that's the square root of 9. B, square root of 4. And then for C, I'm going to use my formula. C squared equals A squared minus B squared. So C squared equals 9 minus 4, which is 5. And so what I would do on my calculator, not that, I would do square root of 5, 2.2. So 2.2. Alright, so now I'll get into the graphing. So I graph my center at 1, -4. I look at what my is underneath my x, because that's going to tell me horizontally what to go. So underneath my x is a 4, so I'm going to go 2 right and 2 to the left. Underneath the y will tell me what to go vertically, so up and down would be 3 and 3. Very symmetrical. Okay, and then we connect it. This is more of a vertical ellipse. Then we want to know the vertices. So the vertices are that point and that point. Sorry. Those are my two vertices. So those locations are at 1, -1 and 1, negative, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are my vertices. And then my length of my major actually goes from one end of the one vertice to the other. So the length of this whole thing, the major axis, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so again, this is vertices, or it's a vertex, I don't know, vertices. And then from end to end is the length. Alright, so let's do another one. Let's do number 6. So number 6 is at 0, 0. No HK up there. A is 5. B is 4. Square root of 25, square root of 16. For C, I would do 25 minus 16. So 25 minus 16. Lucky us is 9, so square root of 9 is 3. So now we'll graph it. So 0, 0. Underneath the x is my horizontal. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Underneath the y is my vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost looks like a circle. Not quite. My vertices are my two bigger points, so in this case is that one and that one. So that would be -5, 0 and 5, 0. And then it's tricky, it says length of the minor. The length of the minor is the smaller ends. So the smaller side of your ellipse is your minor axis, so I would count from end to end for my minor, and that would be 4 and 4, making it 8. Alright, so let's look at number 2. Number 2 we know is, well, we don't know if it's a circle or not. What we would do is we need to, well, we can tell because these numbers are the same. What I'm going to do, plus it says center and radius, I'm going to divide by 2 because on a circle you don't have those in front. So it ends up being x squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 32 divided by 2, 16. So my center is 0, -3. And my radius is the square root of 16. So everything, I said it, but I didn't do it. Everything in the equation is squared. So to find the radius, I have to square root 16 to give me 4. Plus, you're never going to graph a circle with 16 radius. So 0, -3 is actually down here. And then I go 4 in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there is our circle. Alright, so let's go to the back. And we've been kind of sticking with the evens, it looks like. So I'll let you do 7. I'm going to do 8. So I know the center's HK, so x minus 5 lying to us in the parentheses, y plus 2 in parentheses. But it's not 18 squared because it says, paying attention to detail, diameter of 18. That means from end to end is 18. So I only need half of that for the radius, so half of 18 is 9, and 9 squared is 81. Everything in the equation is squared in a circle. Alright, so we actually changed number 9, so in case you didn't get that, I gave you a covertex here of 0, 4, and then on, sorry, give me a second there. So you're writing the equation. You don't have to necessarily graph it. It's just all writing equations on the back. So looking at this next one, we changed this next one to 4, 4, -5, and a covertex of 1, -1, and 7, -1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this information and I'm going to graph it all on my graph over here on the side. So I'm going to graph all these 4 points. So whether you know it's a vertex or not, doesn't matter. So 4, 3 is here. 4, -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. 1, -1, and 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we need to change something. We're going to change this to 5. You probably changed it in class, so hopefully it all works out. Sorry, changing mine. Alright, so just go back over. 5, -1 was the covertex that we changed in class, so I graphed 5, -1. I graphed 1, -1. I graphed 4, 3, and 4, -5. So your center has to be right where these would meet up. And you can draw it like an X, you know, technically it's an ellipse, but in the middle should be my center. So my center's location is at 1, 2, 3, -1. So 3, -1. So that is my HK. So center, 3, -1. So I'm going to go and set that up. X minus 3 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 1. Okay, so then from your center out, okay, this is an x value because it's going left and right. So that is 2, so I put 4 because it's x is horizontal. That's why it goes underneath x. And then my vertical is 1, 2, 3, 4. So up and down is my y, so 4 squared is 16. I'm going to give you graph paper on the test, so if you want to sketch it out, I would encourage you to because it's really difficult if you don't know how to graph it. If without the graph, honestly, it's just a lot more difficult. All right, so then keeping with doing the evens, we'll jump to number 12. Number 12 is an ellipse whose center is right in the middle. If you wanted to, you could draw these lines in, right? So my center is at 1, 2, -2, 1, 2, 3. So x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 1. Okay, so again, xy is this horizontal. So 1, 2, that's 4. And then yy is this vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happens to be the same two numbers again, so that's 16. Alright, so make sure that you've completed the odd ones on your own. And remember, this will be for a grade. It needs to be complete. It's either complete or not. So make sure it's done. This should be an easy 100. And I will see you tomorrow.